Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of a two-parter, Remembrance and Other Mishaps. I am Authenticity. I will be playing someone who will introduce themselves later. I'm joined by my two wonderful friends.
Hi, I'm Mira. I am playing Sammy Satomi.
Hi, my name is Magic, and I'm playing a bastard goat, called Seeker.
God.
Whom we love very much.
Whom you love very much. Yeah.
Alright, so should Sammy roll, perception/investigation, maybe even survival, to try and track Seeker down?
Sure, go ahead.
Which one should I roll?
Investigation.
Damn, that's +1.
I'm gonna say it's not. Yeah, it's not
16.
very hard to find Seeker, because last FPS he was forced to self-care.
Yes, good.
Heavily persuaded, one might say.
Bullied.
Bullied. I really want for like narrative fitting to him to actually be in Sammy's garden.
Hey,
Just like
Sammy doesn't have to go that far.
Nope. Not like sleeping or anything, just kind of like reading a book. Because they do, I look at Under the Rug, they do have to have a meeting at some point. Anyway. This takes place before Under the Rug, by the way.
Okay. Sammy basically just I have the comedic idea that Sammy is like, okay, and like in the House of Paint going, okay, today I'm gonna find Seeker because Arata told me something concerning. And he opens the door, turns around, locks the door, and then turns back around and, oh hey, there's Seeker sitting underneath one of his trees.
He's reading a book and has a leaf stuck in his mouth. What was that book he checked out of the library? History of Coat Hangers? Yeah.
Yep.
He's reading about the history of coat hangers, which is somehow a pretty, like, it's a very thick volume for a book. Anyway.
You could say there's a lot of cliffhangers.
It'd be a good bludgeoning weapon. How he fits in his bag, don't ask questions. Anyway.
Sammy there's a full-on ... over his head, and then he kind of just goes, Seeker! Just the person I was actually looking for! Hi!
He looks up from his book. He still is like half munching a leaf. This is a leaf from your tree. He is stolen a leaf.
Sam like told Seeker that anything in his garden is brave for Seeker to munch. He's not judging.
God. And he looks up from his book and kind of does like a wave and goes, a lot of people seem to be looking for me recently. Hello, Sammy, how are you?
Good. So, Arata told me that there were missing posters put up around town. Are you aware of this? And are you okay with someone looking for you?
There's what?
Yeah, I am. I don't think I haven't been out in town or to look for them myself, but Arata kind of phoned me last night and said that there were posters with your face on it saying you were missing.
In here?
Yeah, here in Toontown.
Oh, hold on, give me a second. I think my dog's causing a ruckus.
Oop. I love how, like, the dogs are all, like, basically kind of, like, causing chaos today.
Yeah, my cat...
Because that happened earlier.
He's quiet, but he's doing his level best. Like, he is...
Aww.
basically leaning on my hand, and if I move my hand, he will fall onto my keyboard.
Oh,
Criminal.
Criminal.
Anyway, I'm back. Not my dog causing a ruckus, but in fact my parents getting home. Anyway.
ah.
Alright, where were we?
Sammy basically saying, yeah, there's posters with your face all plastered all around Toontown, apparently. I've heard. From Arata.
There's a his mouth is drawn into a line and just takes the leaf out of his mouth, puts sort of like kind of puts it down, picks up another leaf, puts it in the book for a bookmark,
Valid.
and sort of gets up, puts the book in his bag. You said here in Toontown, like here, this Toontown.
I don't think there's any other Toontown in Einquell, so yeah.
God damn it. Jesus. Here?
Yeah, here. Do you need help? I can help. I can help you.
Can you help me take them down?
Yeah, sure. And if you need, I can punch somebody if it's not who you want to be looking for you if we run into them.
Okay. Seeker flips through his bag and pulls out a small stack of papers and sort of like shows them to you. It is multiple missing posters for Seeker he just has in his bag. They look like this, correct? Or you said Arata phoned you about it?
Yeah, Arata phoned me about it. I haven't actually seen them yet, but darn it, Avi's not here to say if Arata gave him an actual, like, full-on description or not. How well did he roll in perception?
I think he rolled like an 18. He rolled pretty well.
Okay. So he would probably be able to depict, like, showcase.
Yeah.
Tell Sammy how much detail or lack of detail the posters would have.
Yeah, the wanted posters that Seeger has are of a satyr, a real kind satyr. It just says missing. It doesn't have a name on it. You can obviously tell this is Seeker because there are visible scar lines across the neck of this person. Very similar to Seeker's own, which you have seen before.
Mm-hmm.
The face looks like it's a bit lifeless, kind of staring blankly towards wherever like the camera would be if this was not a drawing. Hair kind of matted, a little malnourished. Don't look great. He does not look amazing in this picture. Okay. I do not know who's putting up these posters, but I'd rather not figure out, if that is all possible.
Okay. Let's get these posters down, and hopefully the plot won't eat them in our direction, so you don't have to deal with this. But if they do end up showing up, I've got a right hook ready for them.
Thank you, Sammy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're my friend, Seeker. I want to make sure you're okay.
God, I think Seeker just kind of gives you like a gives you one of those, like, exhausted smiles. Like, this is not what I expected to do today. Ugh.
Yeah, like, Sammy basically, like, he was going to talk to Seeker about it, but mainly just to, like, hey, Seeker, are you okay?
And, yeah, alright, do you know where they're placed in Toontown? Or is it just...
With the 18 that Arata rolled in the previous game, probably would have told Sammy where at least that poster was.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I guess we should roll survival to see if they actually find the spot.
Oh boy, survival.
Oh, hey, that's not that bad. Hey, 18.
Okay. It's not too hard, because these have been placed all over town. A little bit haphazardly in some spots. But, it is not too hard to find some of these posters. And, they are the same exact ones that Seeker is sort of, like, already kind of holding in his hands.
Actually,
They're put on, like, signposts, they're put on,
I will say, by the way, it does have contact information, because that's how posters work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it like a phone number, or is it like a place?
Well, the ones in Toontown, the ones that Seeker pulled out of his bag are different, but the ones in Toontown instruct all inquiries to go to one of the wharfs in Toontown Harbor and look for a ship called the Vengeful Dead.
Sammy doesn't like that.
God.
Seeker, you might want to roll insight.
Ten.
Okay, the DC's not super high, thankfully, but Seeker, you kind of realize as Sammy's kind of looking over these posters and taking them down, he's making a mental note of where the mention of like where to contact this person is, because even if Seeker doesn't come with him, Sammy's kind of planning on meeting whoever this person is and going to try and persuade them to freaking stop.
Sammy. You probably should. Please do not. I know what you are thinking. Do not.
But Seeker, you don't like this.
Sammy, it's... how do I explain this? A lot of the... If this... I'm assuming this is a ship. If it's an entire ship full of people, I do not know how much help you alone will be. It's... Sammy, I do not want you to get hurt over this, alright?
I won't get hurt if... I'll bail if it looks like it's going to turn bad, but...
Sammy, it's a ship!
I can swim! I can jump over the pecking edge! And swim to shore!
I can swim as well!
I'm dying.
They're just standing in like probably like in like the entrance of an alleyway and like just arguing over this. And like Sammy's shading is like an orange right now, very determined color, and he's just like, Seeker, I'm sorry, but he's shifting into hero mode. You have a problem. He wants to try and fix it.
Sammy. Curse heroic traits. Sammy, I do not want you to go on that ship, alright?
But has this been following you everywhere you've been going?
No, this... It was only in UPA, and it was contained there, but now it's not, and... this is a mess.
If they're still seriously looking for you, moving through countries, I don't think they're gonna stop anytime soon until you're found, Seeker. I'm worried about you. I want to make sure you're okay. You deserve to be okay.
Sammy, I do not want you to get hurt over this.
But wouldn't you do the same for me if I had this kind of issue?
Seeker doesn't respond, but he doesn't look happy. Does not look happy.
I'm so sorry, Seeker. Sammy's not gonna drop this. He is stubborn.
Would both of you like to make me a perception check?
All right. Perception is
8.
Not, that
8.
is +5. 16.
16. So you're standing in this alleyway, and you hear, just sort of in the periphery of your notice, you hear someone, it sounds like they're humming some sort of, a rough sea shanty. It's not one that you've heard before. And you just sort of glance up in time to see someone round the corner, and there are posters with Seeker's face on them that were not there before. With a 16, I don't think you've got any details about who it was, but there are some freshly hung up posters, kind of high up off the ground.
Like where they had taken posters off, or in other places, kind of farther down?
If you've taken some... Actually, hang on. Perception. Okay. Yeah, where posters should be but haven't been. It's not in exactly the same place. Like, those were a little bit lower to the ground, and these are, maybe 2.5 feet above them. But, yeah.
Sammy's gonna take those posters down. Like, what the
Sammy?
More posters got put up. Where did they come from? Who?
You did see someone around the corner.
Yeah, Sammy's gonna take down those posters and then start booking it down.
Sammy!
Down, trying to catch the figure who walked around the corner.
I will say, how is your movement speed?
Movement speed is, let me scroll up, 40 feet, but he is going to, he is going to use his one of his charges of the Zoinks shoes to dash and use expeditious retreat.
Wait, Sammy! Oh god, Seeker cannot catch up to that, even with his insane move speed. There's a... Sammy, Sammy!
You can't hear a very audible doink, 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 doink that you can follow.
God. I see him go dashing after you. He is very concerned.
There's
What
the
should I
Scooby-Doo noise.
what should I roll for this?
I feel, Sammy, are you turning the corner to go after this figure?
Yes.
Probably be dex saves from both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Oh, what's your dex save, my boy? +2. Okay. Oh no!
Jesus.
The audience, that was a 4 for Sammy and a 15 for the mysterious figure.
Yeah, it's you are, like a hound with a rabbit. You're going to catch up to this fucker. You're going to make sure that your friend's safe. You're going to fuck your forehead. And there whoever it was has very quickly dodged out of your way, and you have gone mewing past them into a wall.
Sammy just kind of like, I honestly picture with that 4, he kind of fell back onto his butt. And there's like the little cartoon swirly, there's like swirly eyes, and then also like a halo of circling stars.
Gosh.
Over his head.
Yeah, you hear a, oh, gee, are you all right, sir?
Oh, ow. Pick, that ball came out of nowhere. Are you the one putting up posters?
You look up into there's someone looming over you. They're very, very, very large. And you look up, half of their face is blue skin, the other half is just stark bone. There's a bolt keeping their jaw in place. Real kind. Their face is framed with a wild halo of brown hair, and they're wearing a ragged coat over some less worn but sort of old-fashioned clothing. And they have offered you a hand up, sort of kneeling over you because holy shit. But they sort of look a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit taken back by the vivaciousness of that response.
And I will say, Sammy, behind the figure, you have seen Seeker round the corner after you to probably, hopefully, have stopped you before you did this exact situation. And then, like, hold on, I need to actually roll a history first before I actually decide what that 5 is. It's 18. Before, like, Seeker skids to a stop and just freezes in place.
Like, Sammy's just gonna kind of get shaky. It's like, because my friend really wants you to stop because that's making him extremely uncomfortable and concerned. And if you're gonna hurt him, we're gonna have words and maybe a fist in my face if I can reach. I might have to jump.
What? They sort of reel back on their haunches. They're still, like, even kneeling, they are huge. This person is probably around 12 feet standing up. And
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, no, they're tall as hell.
And you can see them just sort of, like, processing one thing after another. And they go, you know Beacon? He's okay?
Well, he goes, well, my friend goes by Seeker right now, so, I know a Seeker, tire, I don't think I said that word right.
You're good. You're good.
How do you how do you pronounce Seeker's race again?
Satyr.
Satyr. English is weird. A satyr who has been through shit, and if it's the right person, if you're just there's the small. I can't believe I'm saying this. There's this small Toon, who is kind of just like on the ground, still kind of puffing up with his shading a little red. You kind of get the feeling he's trying to be intimidating, but mostly he's just really concerned about his friend.
Yeah,
and potentially unwanted people looking for him.
Yeah, I mean, this person, like, is sort of struggling to keep up with, cause, with the sheer volume of the shit that you have just given them. They go, they wipe a hand over their face. Can actually see they have, it appears to be a little bit of algae in their, bringing their empty eye socket and threaded through their hair so that it's this brilliant green in the sunlight. And they very, very slowly, gently offer you a hand up, and they go, why don't you get off the asphalt? I have so many questions. Excuse me, I go by Coriolis, Captain Coriolis of the Vengeful Dead. It was funny when I picked the name out. Are you, first of all, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I've taken a better. I've taken worse than just running smack tunishly into the wall. It's fine. Are you going to hurt my friend if you find him?
Do you let them, like, help you up?
Yeah, he is gonna get up, but like he's just kind of just puffed up. Is like I will try and punch you. I will try and just very. He is so concerned right now, and like, you know, just like he's trying to make sure that like, is this person have bad intentions for a friend?
Who is standing right behind this person? I will say,
I
he
know,
has not
like,
moved, but he is still there.
Yeah, but like Sammy's just kind of like he's kind of trying to give the attention on himself, gauge, hey, is this person okay? And then maybe going, okay, well, if you're looking for the person, turn around if the person is not a threat. Because if the person is a threat, he's gonna kind of lead the person away from Seeker, that other direction, the direction he came from, so Seeker can run.
First of all, is Seeker trying to stay hidden?
Seeker is standing stock still. Literally. He cannot move. He has rolled a 5 on his wisdom save.
Oh, honey.
Fun fact about goats. When goats are startled too bad, light don't work no more.
I mean, they do have a passive perception of 17, friend.
But they are currently facing away from the satire, the satyr.
There's an FPS title in there somewhere. I mean, they, in answer to your question, they go, no, we could never. and they look around. They were carrying a bundle of posters, which are now scattered on the ground, probably in the snow. And they, start to pick those up. And they're probably going to turn around to get the ones behind them if you don't do something to distract them. And they go, no, I apologize. I don't know how much he would have spoken of me and my crew, but, or rather, we weren't the crew at the time. But there's a long and storied history with ourselves and him and our ship.
Well, he told me mainly about his food issues, but we did share a little bit of Scar, not really stories, but just that we both had scars. But
they smile and they oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, go ahead. I'm just gonna. No, go ahead. I'm pulling up Coriolis' picture.
They smile very sadly, and they tug down the collar of their shirt, and you can see this apparently permanent tan line that has rings around their neck, as if they had been made to wear a collar in the sun for a very long time. And they go, I imagine so. Are you doing anything to keep them from turning around to get those extra posters?
Well, with those words and showing of the scar, Sammy kind of relaxes a tiny bit, and he just kind of glances over at Seeker and kind of just mouths, "Sorry."
Seeker's just standing here. He's just standing here. I don't know how else to describe it. He's just standing here, man.
Just deer in the headlights. Deer in the headlights vibes.
Deer in the headlights. Not moved, not done anything.
But yeah, just what Cordial has kind of just said, Sammy's going to trust them, but also he's still keeping an eye out and kind of keeping a pace for them. Oh, they're so pretty. Their design is so good.
That is all magic.
Magic art, my beloved.
I think I'm going to have them roll.
I mean, if you do want something of note, hey Coriolis, there are more papers on the ground than you expected. And some of them are not from your Toontown posters.
I think that was an insight, because Sammy did just mouth something to someone over their shoulder.
Shit.
And I think that they glanced down. Hey, hang on, that shouldn't be in this pile. That's weird. These are way too old. Wait a sec. And then they turn around.
Standing there is a satyr. A lot. I mean, do you want me to describe Seeker? God, there's a lot of description.
I mean, go ahead, friend.
he's wearing sunglasses. That might be one of the first things you can note. Wearing sunglasses, has sort of brown mixed with a bit of like grayish undercoat for the hair, a little bit of sideburns, a lot of sideburns actually. Very fluffy ears, horns on the head that have little like clips that end in very real, like film reel like ribbons. Oh boy. Wearing a poncho and a pair of gloves that would perfectly cover any scarring that is visible normally. And just like a simple pair of I do a motion because I forget what they're called. Just like a simple pair of sort of those like knee-high shorts. And just a simple bag attached to his side. And he has goat legs and goat hooves. And he is staring at you.
Yeah, hey, Seeker. It's the oarsman. And they
sure is.
And they drop all of the papers and they sit down very hard in the snow. They are also they're just staring.
Hey, Seeker, are you okay?
Seeker is not processing any information right now. Please call back later.
Is that kind of apparent to Sammy, or should I roll insight?
I mean, he's like he doesn't have any expression on his face. You cannot see his eyes, but he's just looking.
Okay, Sammy's gonna walk over and kind of attempt to block Coriolis's image from Seeker for a moment, and he kind of crouches down a little bit and puts his hands on Seeker's shoulders very lightly and goes, "Seeker, hey, Seeker, are you okay?"
I thought everyone was dead.
Hmm.
Seeker is struggling to have words.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else was on the beach.
Maybe you guys got separated by the currents. Do you need to sit down?
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Okay, and Sammy's gonna gently guide Seeker to another snowbank a little bit farther away from Coriolis. And he's also going to dig out from his hammer space a bright orange shock blanket and wrap Seeker in that.
God.
Yeah.
I lay down on the floor. Man.
Coriolis with that 8, there's a little bit of shock setting in. They just stay there in the snow, they don't even track your movements for a sec. Actually, I should. Oh, my boy. My Thembo, no. they they start to try to stand up, but they can't. They just fall back to their knees, and they they sort of hunch over themselves and they hold a hand over their mouth. Actually, no, that's nothing.
Nope.
10. Okay. Their shoulders are shaking just the tiniest amount.
Sammy digs out from his sleeve again another eye-searingly orange shock blanket and wraps Coriolis in that. I don't know how well it actually fits, but he tries.
It's like a little kid with a cape. They, I think that helps. They look up and they do have tears in their one remaining eye. And they give you sort of this shaky, very grateful smile. Like they acknowledge that you're doing your best to help, even if it's them, a complete stranger who may or may not have been menacing your friend.
Okay. It's obvious that both of you are having a lot of emotions right now. Secret, you're probably going to kick me for this, but do you both want to relocate to my garden? It'll be warmer. It's kind of a neutral place for you to talk. Maybe.
Sorry, I just took
Don't die. Don't die.
Uh-huh.
I'm fine. God, I shake my boy. He just kind of nods like a little numbly because like holy shit, holy fuck. This is a lot of information.
Yeah. Sammy, kind of, in a mirror of when Coriolis had offered a hand to Sammy to help him up from the ground, Sammy is going to offer Coriolis a hand to help them up.
Nah, I won't make them roll for it. They very shakily get up. They're being careful to support most of their own weight so they don't fucking pull you into the snow.
My boy.
God.
It's like
and
one
then
of those.
Sammy's.
Well, Sammy's not that small, but like, no, he's very. Or they're very small next to this huge person.
Mm-hmm.
And they they take a couple steps and then they look down and like this person is not settled at all. You can actually see them process how fucking tiny they are next to these two individuals. And like they sort of they try to hunch down a little bit.
Sammy kind of just lightly pats Coriolis on the leg and goes, "Don't make yourself any smaller than you are. It's okay. I'm not intimidated by you. It's actually kind of nice to have someone taller than me."
That they laugh a little bit because they could pick you up like a 5-year-old.
Yep. And like Sammy kind of turns to Seeker and goes, "Do you need help up?"
I believe I have it. And Seeker is going to stand up a little bit on. There's a little wobble, but he's fine. Just, man, today has been a day. He started out with reading. He was having a nice morning.
Yeah. And Sammy kind of looks between the two of them and gives Seeker kind of like a half-armed hug. Like a one-armed hug real quick, and then goes, "Okay, let's go to my garden. I can offer some warm drinks. Do you have any allergies?" And he looks up at Coriolis really quick.
Well, no, I will say, as long as nothing's actively on fire, I would be able to ingest it. I don't eat quite as much, but I would be grateful for your hospitality.
All right. Seeker, are you okay with some green tea?
Yes, that would be fine. Thank you.
Okay. And Sammy's gonna lead you guys to his garden. Coriolis, would you like to roll perception?
Sure.
Because Seeker has visited the garden enough that they already know what this is going on. Oh, a nat 20! Okay. All right. You notice immediately as Sammy leads you through town, there had been people kind of wandering about, just going about their normal day. You get halfway across the street to another block, and everything goes silent. And you look around, and no one is around. This is a very abandoned part of Toontown. And the lines on the buildings are incredibly sketchy. They look incredibly faded. It looks like kind of that vibe of a place is trying to be forgotten because there is no one here to really remember how this place used to be. And like with that nat 20, you kind of get the sense of loss that's kind of hanging in the air. But as Sammy continues, you see a theater that has the lettering has been faded. You can't really read it anymore. And then Sammy leads you down an alleyway, and through there has been a little change since so many people come to Sammy's garden. He's actually managed to, I will just say, fasten a door instead of a slat into the side of this fence. And it's interesting, with that nat 20, you can immediately tell the sense of change that happens in this garden as soon as you step in. And it's very clear that this is a haven, this is a refuge place for people. You can hear birds singing, you can hear the noise of fountains going off, and with that nat 20, you see a iron figure, an iron sculpture with rainbow blown glass hair that is standing at the right end of the garden space, holding a spear, which is where the water is coming from that fountain. And to the left, you can see a fountain that's kind of in the little courtyard area of the theater. And you quickly realize that this is the backyard garden of that theater that you saw. And then you also notice that there is a door on, like a house door on the side of the fence, directly in front of you. And Sammy is like just kind of making a like make yourself at home gesture. There are a lot of trees. Interestingly enough, there isn't any snow in this area. It is actually kind of warm. Like it feels like a warm spring sunny day instead of winter. And Sammy unlocks the door and disappears inside. And Seeker and Coriolis, you are briefly alone in this garden with rainbow flowers kind of scattered about in the grass, and roses in the trees. What do you do?
I mean, I think that for a second, Coriolis is just sort of entranced. They've never been anywhere like this before. They just sort of very carefully sit down somewhere where there's not flowers so they don't break fucking anything.
Okay. Alright. My boy is fucking about to shatter tension, apparently. I think, Coriolis, like, as you sit down, Seeker, like, looks like, oh, you can't see his eyes, but, Seeker is still staring at you, and, it's, I feel like I should roll intimidation, because you're being appraised now, cause, I should roll something, I feel like.
Could be intimidation.
You have half of your skull open,
Jesus.
This theater is staring at you.
For the listeners, that was a 22.
God. They're just sitting here. I think they turn to say something to the satyr, and oh, okay. They just sort of arrange themselves a little bit more neatly.
Question.
Yes.
If you're undead, how do you eat?
Carefully.
Do you have like organs? You're not a toon, right?
No. Not that I know of. I mean, yes. If I'm not careful with my ribcage, I can even, check on them. I do have organs.
God, there's a... Seeker is very, very curious.
I love how the cleric just kind of did not clock the undead bit.
I
mean, sometimes I just like that.
Skulls.
I know!
God.
And like Sammy, even though he has a history with Realkind, doesn't know how they work. He doesn't live with them.
Maybe this is just a thing. And unless you've met any half giants beforehand, maybe that's just his case.
No, he would have never met a half giant before this, so he has no idea what is normal and what is not.
Why is Seeker giving me the I want to look in the ribcage vibes?
Oh no.
Why is he giving me this?
I mean,
God. Why is he like this?
I mean, it's hidden behind, like, they're wearing, a big coat. They're wearing a waistcoat. They've got, a button-down shirt on. Like, there'd be some steps in between here and ribcage.
Ah. Why is my boy like this?
God. And they, like, they're just sort of watching you, Seeker, very carefully. And they go, we've been looking since the storm. Yes. Me and the other slaves, we woke up at the bottom of the ocean. How does Seeker look right now?
God. Just, he's sure doing. Mm-hmm.
I think that they're going to, like, pat a clump of grass, like, sort of so he can sit down. Like,
God.
by the way, they're doing their level best to be smaller than Seeker. It's not working, but, like, they're like, they're basically doubled over themselves.
Oh, that cannot be good for their back. Seeker is going to sit down, and again, Seeker is fucking tiny compared to Coriolis. He is 5'4".
Mm-hmm. He is less than half their height.
Yeah.
And they go, Beacon, Seeker, I have apologies. We never got to ask your name.
Seeker isn't my name either. So that's... Beacon is alright.
Beacon. Okay. I don't know if you heard, but I go by Coriolis these days.
Mm-hmm.
After, well, once we were out, and once we were out, I didn't want to keep anything that they gave us, not even titles.
That's understandable.
No, please.
I thought you all were, like, dead.
I mean, we are most certainly dead. We checked, but, I grew up on the ocean. I had a life on it before the ship. I would have been out there anyway. And it's like another realm. There are things down there that I do not know how to describe because none of the languages I know have the words for it. And we made
Terrifying.
our way sometimes, but beautiful. And we made our way to UPA, and we took the wreckage with us, and we emptied it. We destroyed it. We left basically nothing but the hull. And we renamed it. And because of a dumb joke that I made when I was half asleep, it's called The Vengeful Dead. And that's what we've been up to. And we've been looking for years. Beacon, I'm sorry we couldn't find you before. And they stop and they consider and they go, maybe you didn't want to be found, and that's okay too.
God. I cannot describe Seeger's look on his face. It's just... This is just it. That is literally his fucking face looks. I don't know how to describe that.
Just kind of like that in shock, dumbfounded look.
Goat in the headlights.
Yeah. Goat in the headlights. Hey, Sammy!
Yeah, I feel like it probably around this time Sammy comes back with 2 cups, three cups of steaming green tea that billow up animated in puffy, warm golden, warm white little clouds, puffs of steam, very prettily animated, and hands one to Coriolis and one to Seeker, and then one for himself, and puts kind of like the serving tray down. And he just kind of goes, okay, how are things? Did you guys get to talk a little bit? I see that nothing's burning, so that's good.
I don't have any fire spells. Why would something be burning?
Wait a second, Magic. I point at frustration spoons.
That's not a damage spell. I can't do damage with that spell. Seeker is just an idiot and lit his hand on fire.
Fair enough. Anyways.
Listen.
Coriolis.
Anyway.
This, like, they just bring the cup underneath their face and just sort of, they seem to be enjoying the smell. And they go, I think we're okay for now. We didn't talk too much. They're like looking to Seeker like, we're okay, right? Are we okay?
Seeker gives the thumbs up. Yeah, they're doing well.
There's a very obvious relaxing of Sammy's shoulders. She's like, oh good. They're actually friends.
Yeah.
I will say, no insight necessary. Coriolis still looks very, like, not, maybe jumpy is a good word, or, like, discomfited. They do not look relaxed. They do not look, like, oh yes, we had a great conversation, very emotionally fulfilling. They look like they're processing on the fly.
Yeah, no, like, it's more of like Sammy was just worried that, like, oh, are they fighting? Are they, like, he was protective barber cleric worried about his friend.
God. I hold very soft.
So yeah, he's just kind of he is now here, unaware that that there is an undead in his garden.
Actually, I have a question. Does the garden give Sammy any information about
about
Gosh, I
people.
don't know. What's in his garden? How many people's in his garden? Anything like
Uh,
that.
no, it's for the most part it's tended by Sammy himself. The change is because I'll give you this, author. The change happens because this is a place of somebody who is actively caring for this space. Like there's someone here taking care of it who cares. It doesn't give Sammy any potential boon per se, and because of the type of domain that Prismatone is, maybe if Sammy were a higher level cleric, maybe there would be that effect. But considering he is a level 4 cleric to his level 5 barbarian, no, it's just he doesn't really have like a paladin's whatever thing they do with the undead thing, and like plus Prismatone's not. Yes, she is the deity of souls, but that's more of just like your character, your being.
Okay.
And like if Sammy wanted to, he could roll, but that's more of like a sense of you're gauging your character and stuff, like gauging like your actual self, not the fact that you're an undead.
Yeah. All right, I think that answers my question. But I mean, the point is slightly moot because the next thing they're going to say is, well, I don't know how much you remember of the others, but being dead, we're largely the same. Nona is still Nona. The children are still relatively small. They're growing older in other ways, but I don't know if you would like to meet them, but as I say, we've been looking for years. You have been the only one that we missed, the only member of our family we haven't had. At the very least, they'd like to be able to rest eyes on you.
Sammy does not do a spit take and manages to swallow his sip of tea.
Yeah, Coriolis looks over and goes, "Oh, you drink it. Hang on." And then they take a sip.
My God, I loved him.
They're the most.
They're a mess.
I give to you and
you
them both.
drink it. Oh.
I think Seeker's mind right now has instantly been snapped to where does go and drink? Just there's another stare, like he's trying to figure out the secrets of the world. Just where do you go and drink? Where do you go and drink? Do you really have organs? that is the only thing now running through his head.
Is this out loud?
He already asked if you had organs, but like there's just a pause. How does again, how do you drink if you're undead?
They look down at their cup and they take another sip, like demonstratively, like this.
God. Like where does it go? You have organs? Do they still function?
Some of them I don't think I'd be able to see without my eyes.
You only have one eye.
I.
God.
They take another sip uncomfortably, like, huh, this sure is where this conversation went.
I'm sorry, he's curious.
I mean, it's better than the panic attack.
It's better than the panic attack. Anyway. Just... But... I suppose I could see them sometime. Perhaps.
Would Sammy and Seeker make me a perception check?
Yep, okay. Let's roll perception.
Oh, wait, that's a negative. Nope. I have a feeling he does not see this.
Alright, that's an 11.
Let me check that. Okay, so Coriolis is focused on two of the others. When they're talking to them, and they're sort of nodding along as Seeker is speaking, and then their eyes sort of drift away towards probably behind Sammy, and they just sort of like they look shocked, and then more shocked for a different reason, and like they just like mouth no. Sammy, you can see all of this. Would you like to turn around?
Yes, he will turn around.
There is an undead toddler dwarf with a knife who looks very put out that her sneak attack has been ruined. And she just scowls at you and at Coriolis and at Seeker and just sits down like,
Oh, Sammy, like, if he wasn't already sitting down, would be sitting down really hard right now.
Yep.
Like, he just kind of goes, oh, alright. There's an undead child in my garden.
Yeah. And
oh, dear.
Coriolis just, like, sighs into the hand and goes, Lemna, we talked about this. She goes, he was wigging me out. He made Seeker go... Seeker, I don't like his face.
Sammy kind of points at himself. Questioningly.
Yeah, Coriolis will climb to their feet very slowly. They seem to have some back some back problems, and they go over and they pick Lemna up, and they sit back down with her in their lap, and they just go, "Excuse my sister. She was raised on a pirate ship. She has no manners." She goes, "I do have manners. They're knife manners." And
Sammy kind of snorts and then kind of like mildly waves it away and goes, "I've my little sister stabbed me in the side. If she had actually managed, it would have hurt. But I have healing spell slots today, so it would have been fine." There's an audible question mark.
yeah, Coriolis like holds out a broad hand to her, and she like crosses her arms, and then looks fine, and then hands over the knife. And they put it in their pocket, and they hold their hand out, and she goes, "Ugh," and hands the second knife over.
That gag, yes.
They go, do you want to say hi to Beacon? She goes, hi, Beacon. In sort of that, like, sing-songy, like, call and response sort of way.
Greetings and salutations.
I don't know how much Seeker saw of the kids on the ship, but here's one of them.
He's just sitting here, man. God.
There's a fishbone kind of sticking out of her hair, and she, like, fishes it out and, like, chews on it a little bit with her sharp toddler teeth. Apparently done with the conversation.
Oh, God. Man.
Coriolis is just like again, like, very profusely apologizing on her behalf. Like, it's, as far as these things go, you don't really want your little sister stabbing this random child that you found with the person you've been looking for 2 years. Whoops.
God.
I love how Seeker is just sitting here.
Look, listen, it's better than the alternative. God. Just... Yeah, I think he just takes a sip of the tea. God.
Sammy's just sitting here now.
The bunch of assholes.
God. And
I will say, we're getting to the 4-hour point of this FPS session.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Jesus.
We might want to start wrapping up soon.
God, where do we even fucking start?
I think that maybe the way that we finish up is Coriolis finishes their tea and gives sort of a kneeling bow to Sammy. Just notable, Seeker, you remember something or other about them kneeling. I don't know how cognizant you were for that. And they stand up with Lemna in their arms, and they go, you know where to find us, I think. The vengeful dead, such as we are at your service, both of you. Please don't be a stranger, not at all.
Sammy does kind of like, he has been like sitting like kind of in that like, say the traditional Japanese kneeling position, and he kind of just does a polite bow back.
I think Seeker does like a small head nod and like, yeah.
This sure is a thing.
This sure has been an evening.
God.
Man. I can attempt to stop by at some point.
If you don't want to come aboard, the dock is on the posters, but if you just ask for me, for Nona, for Sharky, for Mayor Lemna, we're pretty easy to find. We're distinctive. And they stop and they go, the reason that we named you Beacon, we could hear you. You're singing. We could hear not what they made you sing, but what you sang to yourself for hope. And I don't think we would have made it without it. You were our beacon in the darkness. I hope I don't tell you this to intimidate you, to make you feel beholden in some way, but when you think of us, that is what you mean to us. You were there. You knew how bad it was. And you reminded us that there would be light in the dark. And then they give you both one final bow and they leave.
Sammy just kind of turns to Seeker and goes, "Are you okay?"
He's fine.
All right, Sammy could potentially beat that, so he's gonna insight real quick. That is a +1. Damn it. That was a 3. Nope. He looks at you, Seeker, and kind of smiles a little bit and kind of gently, leans his shoulder into yours and goes, "Well, despite how they are now, they did make it out. Just like you."
Yeah. Just like me.
He does not notice that tone in that tone, but Mira sure does and dies inside.
Mm-hmm. God.
Boy, Seeker's giving me go faceplant into a bush. I mean, it's been a long day.
Yeah, if Seeker wants to do that, Sammy's not gonna begrudge him. He could even snack on a whole bush. He wouldn't even bat an eye.
I will say, even with a 3, the things he's not trying to hide is that, man, this sure was a day, full of tough conversation. He wants to go take a nap.
Yeah, Sammy's just gonna kind of gently nudge Seeker and go, "You can either take a nap inside the house or you can sleep out here. Inside would probably be a little bit safer, but I'll let you rest, okay?"
Alright, this is something or another. I am going to go faceplant into a bush. Sammy, thank you for having me over. Does a clap. Hands back the teacup. If you need anything, just let me know. And gets up, walks over to a bush, and face plants in it.
Sammy kind of laughs and goes, "If you need me, I'll be inside." Okay?
There's a thumbs up from the satyr.
And yeah, and Sammy goes inside to wash dishes.
God bless Sammy. God.
I have a little bit of an epilogue, not much of one.
Alright.
Uh-huh.
So Coriolis walks themselves and Lemna back to the ship and very firmly hands Lemna over and holds their hand out. And Lemna does a frustrated little kid scream and hands over a third knife, which they also hand to the first mate. And they climb aboard their ship and they survey it and they go to the side and they jump off into the water. And they sink down to the bottom and walk along it a little ways out. Actually, a good ways out. Past, the filth of Toontown Harbor, the muck-a-muck that accumulates with so many ships going to and fro. They find a nice patch of sand below the waves. And they just sort of like T-pose and tilt back and land in like a swirl of silt. And they're just gonna stay there for a while. That's all.
God.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Have a good time, everyone.
Good boy.
Bye.
Bye.